Okay, so the idea is to show you guys some techniques to help you quickly get started painting and sketching inside of Photoshop with the help of some 3D tools. All right, so let's dive in. So the first little technique I want to show you guys is blocking things out in 3D. All right, so whenever you block out a scene, right, if you're dealing with 1 point, 2 point, 3 point perspective, you can block those scenes out. So right now, I do have, um, let me go see, I have several cameras that cover those. So if I'm doing like an interior scene or something like that, let me do Alt Q. That'll isolate what I have selected here. So if I have like an interior scene that I'm working on or something like that that I need a single perspective for, right? I can just create something like this and I don't even have to fully render all of it out. All I want to do is let's see if I make it performance. Now I get all of my vanishing lines here and this will just help me get started. So let me pretend like, right, right. You can quickly start using these little techniques to block something out for yourself, right? And then use this as your base, right? You don't even have to fully render it out. You can hit the render button or you can even use the snipping tool, all right? Let's see. Let's do snip and then hit new. Just gonna control grab this. So now all I'm just do is just copy this and then I can paste this into my Photoshop file. All right. And now I've got a simple base that I can then start to use to draw my lines. To know that, all right, I've got at least the correct, my vanishing point is correct in all of these. So now I can start using this. It's kind of like a little cheat sheet, right? So if we wanted, we can, right, pretend like, get a better brush. And then I can even start using some of the same colors to, maybe do some different designs on it or something. I'm gonna reduce the smoothing quite a bit. I'm just trying to test my brush. Alright, this works. So you just use whatever you've got. So then you can start. Alright, and what this allows you to do is you can then start placing objects in there realistically. So if I wanted to place some like light poles or something, I can easily plot them a little bit better. Now all I'm trying to do is follow the leading lines. So you can start to use this to create even exteriors, or you can start to use it to create interiors as well. So depending on what you're working on, so I can make this into like, let's see, if I want to pretend like this is like It's like a pantry or something. Right. Right. You can start to put different objects in here and stuff like that. Now it's a pantry. Right. If we wanted to. What I'm doing here is I'm finding the center, and I'm using that to make myself a circle. That's where the center of this pantry is. So, whoops, just like that. This just helps find the center. I forget there's lighting information on it, so it's not going to work one for one. Right. Right. So as you paint, you blend, you're painting, you're blending, you're adding stuff to it. Right, and then you can use the same values from all of the shading that you already have to determine top. Right, what's the what the light side is. Right, what the light side is. What the dark side is, which is this guy right here. And that'll be your contact shadow. Right? Same here. All right. So these are just the basics, right? Like you can take pretty much anything you've got going, convert it into something else, make it look like something else, right? You just need to practice, start painting, put ink to paper, right? Maybe since this is the pantry, there's like a giant like rat or some shit back here. A giant rat. Something back here. There's a giant jug or some shit in here. What I'm doing is I'm just using my flow. Just make the lines a little smoother. What I'm kind of doing is like I'm trying to draw through the volume, right? What this does is it helps me like physically kind of picture what the bottle's surface, what the what it's going to do. Right? And then I can go maybe front side. Right? Let's put this section here. All right. And the more you start to paint and draw, and you'll start to develop your own unique kind of style. Right? Right. So using a 3D as a base, I can start to easily start to add my own objects in there. Right? As you can see. First I had it as a city, then I started turning it into like a cabinet. Right? It's all a matter of perspective and just switching up how your eye sees it. Right? So you can start to create a bunch of random stuff. So let me just go to the second one. Let's go unhide all. There we go. Okay, so let me see, something like this. You could easily just go instead of default. Let's do Just trying to find something kind of flat. Nothing too crazy. Hidden line's not bad. I might do hidden line. Flat's too flat. I think hidden line is going to be the one I'll do. So I'm just going to do another snip. Do a quick snip of this guy right here. Boom. Let's do copy. And then I can paste this bad boy in here. Alright, so I've got my piece here, and then what this does is it simplifies just understanding that perspective. If you're making sure that anything I draw or put inside the scene will match that perspective. So if I wanted to, let's see. Let me see. What can I add in here? Let's add. Maybe add. Let's see, W. I'll actually just maybe. Let me grab my tool. Alright, so all I did was just added a couple of these, right? Control T if I can flip it. And I can start to use this to kind of build. Right. Alright, and I'll just go behind here, make a new layer. B. So let's bring it on top. Then I'll grab this guy. There we go. Now I'll just use this to create myself a little plane. Maybe use this guy. For the sky. Right. And then I can use this guy to start to make some more interesting decisions. my city here. Right. I'm just trying to make something feel more interconnected. Now we can start to build a little bit of interest. What's going on? We get something on the top layer. Right, and this is the beauty of 3D, is that you can start to really create some fun, kind of imaginative, things that's going on in there. You know. Sorry about that noise. Maybe you pantomime some trees. Yeah. Maybe a better brush. So one of these kind of like super scratchy. with a lot of concept stuff, right? You're just trying to just convey little subtle bits of information. You don't want to do too much. You don't want to give away the whole game because sometimes you're working on really tight deadlines. So you just want to kind of give the inference of what you're trying to say. Okay, there's some smudged buildings. There's a little bit of this over here. There's some broken glass. There's some broken buildings. So you're just kind of going around, you know, saying, "Hey, this." Let your mind do the rest, right? Let me get. I'm just gonna dot it, right? Make it look like, oh, it's some shrubbery or something over there, right? There's something going on. You don't know what it is. You don't can't see close enough to it, right? You can't be close enough to it to really make anything out, but it kind of looks like a little bit of shrubbery. It looks like a little bit of, you know, and especially if you're working in this stage of where it's still super early, you know, you're just doing gestural kind of, hey, feeling the mood type pieces, it works just fine. Right? If you were refining it, that's another story. But for this stage of what you're doing, this is usually more than adequate. All right. All right. So maybe there is some big. Uh, there's a big some sort of ship, some something coming through. I don't know. You know. So you can start to take stuff like this, and then maybe I'll flip it around, see what it looks like. I'll start rotating it. Right. So now you're taking just some simple geo. Right, if I duplicate this again, I can make it kind of like these. Almost turn them into like these, kind of like, oh, these are like data centers or something that these little aliens have put everywhere. Right. And start messing with the layers. All right, so that's pretty much it for today. Just take what you've learned so far, try to do some more interesting concepts, see what you can create, move stuff around, kind of kit bash, and see what you can generate. All right. I don't want to hold you up too much longer. I do appreciate your your time once again. I'm gonna upload this to the chat, and hopefully you guys are still attempting your quizzes. I will be posting um, progress grades soon, so look out for those. Hopefully you guys are still uploading your stuff to Brightspace, making sure that your work is up to date there as well. All right. This is Ty. I will see you guys Monday, I believe. Monday. I don't know if there's a holiday, but I should see you guys Monday. All right. It's your boy Ty. This is Concept Art 2. We will see each other soon. Have a good one, guys.